Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've ever had a free internet. I think we call it a free internet. It's, I mean, when you really get down to it, it's not. Um, and there are healthy and unhealthy ways of using these tools and when they're applied. To double click on like this wasn't the strongest case in my like knock on the trial lawyer. If this process continues, there'll be a queuing up of these types of one-off lawsuits of I was harmed by my usage of social media. Hey, I am part of this or that suit that is being brought in the corner over here in this state over there to tie it back to tobacco, right? This is unhealthy and has been unhealthy for teens. That wasn't like whoever got to the right lawyer at the right time. And by the way, 30 to 40% of all of those funds don't go to the people that were truly affected, those young people who were selected by some random means of happening to know my brother who's a lawyer or responding to this like cattle call. And I was selected because my story was going to sell more because my pain sounded better on paper. The Truth campaign was born from $1.5 billion, which was a significant, massive amount settled in like 1998. And this master settlement agreement, 46 states, and it was decided to be used for the purposes of educating, making aware of the harms of this thing. That is probably the right way to go, not the how many trial lawyers can get paid their VIG on prosecuting whoever sounds better on paper. And like, maybe that's unfair, but that's where I see this potentially rolling.
Yeah, no, I think that's totally fair, George.
Go get your VIG though, right? In the
Yeah,
meantime, I think what we need is probably something that is larger in scope and more focused on something that spreads that.
yeah. No, I agree. All right, George, I'll take us into our next one. This one comes from the Wall Street Journal. George, Lean In, the nonprofit organization founded and for a while led by Facebook Meta's Sheryl Sandberg, has appointed a new CEO. This CEO is 25-year-old Bridget Griswold. And not everyone is super thrilled with this. This comes as the organization has faced significant turnover. 25% of staff departed over the past year. It seems like the nonprofit is pivoting its focus to enter or to counter the trad wife movement, to kind of like, combat traditional gender expectations and discourses happening online, and help women lead the AI revolution, George. But I would say it is the Gen Z age that has caught eyes within philanthropic circles. Full disclosure, I am in my late 20s. So this person is relatively close to me in age. And George, my bias is I don't think I have the experience to lead a name brand nonprofit right now. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Sheryl Sandberg is right, but that's my bias.
I mean, Zuckerberg, what, 23, 22 when he was fully cooking with Facebook? Not to say they're not outliers, but with no nonprofit official experience from IC, a couple of years, this surprised, I think, a lot of veterans in philanthropy that understand that, like, there have been mistakes made with large sums of money and they can do a lot of damage. When you don't have experience in the philanthropic world and don't understand the second order effects of just writing checks, the um, the net result can be actually making things worse than when you started. And so that's where experience plays in, especially as we are all handed these AIs that are overconfident, completely sycophantic. What a great idea that is to go distribute funds in this way. Um, it's definitely a head scratcher for that. And ultimately, I'm left with somebody like, with the leadership and experience of Sheryl Sandberg, by all accounts, utterly brilliant. Probably wants to craft this role. This wasn't somebody she wants somebody to like push back on her with their own ideas. She's got a vision very clearly and wants an executor rather than a visionary. And this, I would say, for execution, I guess that is the narrative that lands in my mind at the end of the day for this. Somebody who's 25, and I think this is important, was not in the work world during COVID. was not raising kids during COVID. There is a generational shift, I think, that we're going to see with people that went through that experience and where they were, that imprinted on them, and their new understanding of the world with regard to risk, with regard to even interacting.